I don't even have some super long or witty or comical intro for this review. This is going to be an interesting one. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the brother Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you my review for episode 3 of the Twilight Zone, titled Replay. This episode is interesting, like I said. It deals with the issue of race relations in regards to police and civilian interactions. And I think they were a little heavy-handed with it. Sanaa Lathan stars in this episode as Nina, and Damson Idris stars as her son Dorian. He's going off to an HBCU. I don't know where it's set exactly, but he's going off to the HBCU, and she's taking him to college. This is, I think, his first week of college. And he has like freshman orientation the very next day. Basically, she's taking him away to school. And they have this interaction with a state trooper, a white state trooper, named Officer Lansky, I believe. And she has this old camcorder with her that used to belong to her father. And she finds out that it rewinds time. Now, this can be a very interesting concept, but again, as I stated, the actual subject matter that the episode is about, I think, is a little heavy-handed with how it deals with it. So they keep having different interactions with this state trooper. None of them end well. One ends with Dorian getting shot and killed, and she actually is at the medical examiner's office confirming the body is that of her son. And I think one of the early ones was one where he gets tased or is about to get tased. But she keeps rewinding time using the camcorder, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. I think very early on in the episode, she does it by accident. And no, she doesn't do it by accident. He gets some ketchup on his shirt, and he says, "Hey, can you go back, rewind, and record over that?" And she does, and it rewinds time, and she catches on very quickly, like, whoa, that's really, really weird. Again, I think the premise itself is very, very interesting, but how they deal with it is a little, again, it's a little out there. So they go by, she has in the town that the college is set in, that's where she grew up. So early on, I was thinking that the reason why why this officer keeps harassing them basically is that she has some type of relationship with this officer. She said early on in the episode, or not early on in the episode, but she said at one point in the episode that her brother got killed near the house where they grew up in and where her other brother stays. And I think somebody else, that her dad or somebody else, also got killed near the house as well. So she said when she was growing up, she only saw two ways to get out. If she left on her own and never looked back, or dead. Those were the only two ways that she was getting out. So it's basically she has to reconcile with her past in order to protect her son's future, right? So I get the meaning behind it, but it was very, very, in the house, the uncle that lives there now, again, she wanted to avoid going there because she wanted to get over, going back home. She never wanted to come back again, leaving and not coming back, making sure that she did what she had to do to put herself in a position to raise her son well and put him in a position to go off to college. And he's a film major. That don't really mean shit about shit, but that's just something I wanted to add. I thought that was going to play into it as well, but it really doesn't. In the house, there's like Black Lives Matter. There's like a Black Lives Matter poster. Now, the uncle, who was played by Steve Harris, he says that they're gentrifying the neighborhood, and he's been like talking to neighbors before they get pushed out. and basically trying to do a collection of history for that neighborhood regarding all the black people. So they end up taking like some sewer or some tunnel that leads to the university, and when they exit out of it, that same state trooper pulls up and say, "Hey, you three, what are you doing coming out of there? Stop." He pulls his gun, and Nina basically stands up and says, "No, my son didn't do anything. He's walking through those gates. Everybody here is a witness. You're crossing a line." And I think they did it. They were a little extra for no reason. Again, just like a previous, review that I talked about, my Widow's review with, Viola Davis's character son in that film. They make the white police officers super aggressive for no fucking reason. I get it. Sometimes police officers are super aggressive for no fucking reason. But if you have a group of people all holding up cameras recording what you're doing, and you already have your gun drawn on somebody, what in the fucking world would make you go from a one-handed grip to a two-handed grip, like you have intent to shoot them and you're not scared that everybody is recording them? Huh? I don't get it. Again, I think this could have been, I don't know, I think it could have been dealt with a little bit differently. And that's my main issue with the episode. They were very, very heavy-handed with a lot of the stuff in the episode regarding the racial relations and things like that. And, we get like a jump forward toward 10 years later where she's recording Dorian and his daughter Trinity, which, funnily enough, she named her earlier in the episode when they were at the diner. She mentioned, "Oh, my granddaughter Trinity," and he was just like, "Trinity? Really?" But he's with them in the house. Trinity ends up breaking the camcorder, and she starts like almost having a panic attack, but Dorian convinces her, "Ma, just let it go. Okay, it's been 10 years. It's been long enough." Now, I was wondering what the Twilight Zone downer twist was going to be, and for a minute I didn't expect there to be one. However, as this episode ends, he leaves to go get ice cream for Trinity, and I'm like, he's about to get shot, isn't he? I was expecting him to get shot as soon as he opened the door, but that didn't happen. He blows her a kiss, opens the door, leaves out, and she's like smiling, but her face slowly turns into like a look of fear, because you see ever so slightly reflecting off her face blue and red lights of a police car or a patrol car. During that standoff that they had, she was very, "Hey, we're all witnesses. My son is going into this gate, so you need to back the fuck up. You're really the one that's scared. Y'all been shooting us, abusing." Again, like I said, super fucking heavy-handed, right? So my thinking was, why would you say that to this dude that's clearly profiling you and clearly like harassing you in whatever parallel universe you think this is, and you keep rewinding time and shit like that? Why would you say that and basically mock him and the rest of the police officers when they pull up guns drawn and shit like that? So yeah, to me, it made sense that this episode was going to end with him still having an interaction with a police officer. Now, we don't know if it was Officer Lansky. We just see kind of the red and blue lights kind of reflecting off her face. She goes from a smile to kind of a scared frown, and we hear sirens right when the episode cuts to black, and then we hear sirens. So some things you just can't escape, and they talk about in the episode, fate. Things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. So I thought the preview for the episode at the end of the previous episode, which they have one of at the end of each episode, they have a preview for the next one. when they were showing, it had her talking about parallel universes, I was like, oh shit, what is this gonna be about? But then I saw like the interactions with the cop, and I'm like, oh shit, I might not like this one. And it turns out I don't really like this episode because they were so heavy-handed with the subject matter. You don't always have to have the police officer be an asshole. I get it, it's the fun thing to do, right? The uncle is talking about, they mentioned Black Panther, the movie, because they mentioned Ryan Coogler early on in the diner. And then the uncle says, hey, I got Black Panther issue 1 by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I know I mispronounced the shit out of his name. It's mint, it's in the attic, don't fuck it up. And I'm like, that was like 4 years ago, man. That's not, like, I'm thinking when he said Black Panther #1, I'm thinking the first Black Panther comic, not the issue #1 from a series that's 4 years old. I don't know. That's just me though. I got that same fucking issue. I don't understand. But anyway, I don't want to go on like a super long rant about this episode. I think it had potential that they kind of wasted. I'll say that much. But yeah, remember how I said that I accidentally came across spoilers for like how the season of Twilight Zone went and what they did with it? I'm starting to understand what they meant in that review. And I don't know, I'm kind of scared for the rest of these episodes to see how they turn out. Because I think if they're gonna go down the route that I think they're gonna go down, I probably won't like the rest of this season. But I'm gonna keep an open mind, and I'm gonna treat every episode as, you know, a standalone type of thing, instead of being kind of connected with this bigger thing. So yeah, those are my thoughts on episode 3, Replay of the Twilight Zone. Check out all the other videos, guys. Check out the super late reviews. Check out the other 2 reviews for the Twilight Zone episodes, and be on the lookout for the rest of the reviews as well. Hopefully this isn't super long. I feel like it is, but as always, guys, I appreciate the support, whether it's 1, 5, 10, or 100 views. And I'll catch up with you guys later.